tawanan, balita at all-time favorite music hits. Sa lungkot at ligaya, kami pa rin ang inyong kasama. We're the place where you truly belong. Mula sa TVH Group of Networks, ito ang inyong himpilan. Ito ang inyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila. This is koolNews Primetime.
Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. This is koolNews Primetime. I am Cairo, and we are live on TGN Cool FM and News Radio 93.1, where we share the latest news headlines that care for you. Let's begin with our top stories. Only 966 out of more than 45,000 schools in the Philippines have a functioning anti-bullying committee. The Department of Education DepEd disclosed this data at a public hearing on the rising cases of bullying in the country on Tuesday. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, chairperson of the Senate panel on basic education, was alarmed upon looking at the data and wondered why the number appeared to be so low. In other words, this committee is tasked to prevent, detect, and address bullying in schools. But what you're saying now, it's only 966 schools out of 45,000 plus schools have a functioning child protection committee or anti-bullying committee? Gatchalian asked. DepEd Assistant Secretary Dexter Calban said this was only based on the 3,210 schools in the country, adding that another 48,000 schools have yet to be evaluated. That's such a huge gap. 966 out of 45,000 schools? No wonder bullying still happens. Isn't it the responsibility of our principals to ensure they have a functioning CPC anti-bullying committee? Gatchalian asked. Calban said it was the primary purpose of actually implementing the CPC functioning personality test because, by policy, all schools should have a CPC. This is why we created a mechanism to actually check whether or not there is an actual presence of the working CPC, and if not, what aspects they are lacking, he explained in Filipino. Gatchalian pointed out that the absence of a CPC in schools clearly violates the anti-bullying law. That's a violation of the law because the law calls for the creation of the CPC in all public elementary and secondary schools. That is under the anti-bullying law. What is the liability of the principals if they do not implement this? It's shocking that only 966 out of 45,000, that's only 2% of our total schools, he said in Filipino. Responding to the senator's queries, Calban said DepEd would look into what administrative sanctions can be imposed on schools that are unable to operationalize their CPCs. Data from DepEd showed that 79,819 cases of bullying, both physical and digital, were recorded from 2019 to 2022. The Supreme Court has declared that government energy regulatory agencies have the power to determine the fixed tariff system for renewable energy under Republic Act 9513 or the Renewable Energy Act of 2008. Based on a 180-page decision written by Senior Associate Justice Marvet Leonen, the SCN-backed denied consolidated petitions which challenged the validity of resolutions of the Energy Regulatory Commission, the Department of Energy, and the National Renewable Energy Board in implementing the Renewable Energy Standard under Republic Act 9513 and the feed-in tariff system. The Supreme Court upheld Section 6 and 7 of the Renewable Energy Act of 2008, stating that the law was complete and provides clear standards, making the delegation of legislative powers to the agencies valid. Section 6 of the law establishes the Renewable Portfolio Standard, which requires power suppliers and distribution utilities to source a minimum portion of their electricity from renewable sources set by the NREP. Section 7, meanwhile, introduces the feed-in tariff system, allowing incentives for renewable energy developers, including fixed tariff payments and priority connections to the grid. Energy regulatory agencies then issued resolutions to implement this, which approved the tariff rates and issue FIT rules and FIT guidelines, which include the FIT allowance, referring to a separate charge on consumer electricity bills used to fund such initiatives. In the petition, several individuals and groups questioned the legality of the resolutions, arguing that the agencies were already exercising legislative powers belonging solely to Congress. The petitioners claimed that Sections 6 and 7 were too general and lacked clear standards, which resulted in the invalid delegation of legislative power to administrative agencies. The petitioners also argued that the Renewable Energy Act does not authorize the advance collection from consumers of the FIT allowance, further claiming that the resolutions violated due process for being issued without prior notice and hearing or public consultations. In its decision affirming a Court of Appeals ruling, however, the Supreme Court stated that while the Congress generally cannot delegate its powers, it can authorize agencies to make rules and set rates in technical matters requiring their expertise. According to the Supreme Court, the delegation of legislative power to administrative agencies is necessary to address the growing varieties, complexities, and volume of modern-day matters. The Supreme Court said that the Renewable Energy Act already clearly outlined the government's policy to boost renewable energy use and protect the environment, with Sections 6 and 7 containing specific guidance and limitations for implementing this policy, ensuring the agencies operate within defined bounds. In addition, the Supreme Court upheld the advanced collection of the FIT allowance, clarifying that while the electricity from renewable sources must be produced before receiving FIT benefits, the law does not prohibit collecting funds in advance to support the system. The Supreme Court also found that the NREB complied with the notice and publication requirements under the ERC Rules of Practice and Procedure, with its petition to draft a new rule and notice of hearing published twice in 2 newspapers of general circulation in the country, hence sufficient public notice. In their concurring opinions, Chief Justice Alexander Gusmundo also upheld the resolutions of energy agencies, as none were subject to notice and hearing requirements, as they do not substantially increase the burden of participants in the electric power industry. Associate Justice Ami Lazaro Jever, for her part, considered the advanced collection of the FIT allowance as a legitimate exercise of police power. And tomorrow, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Has declared April 9 a regular holiday, that is tomorrow, to mark the 83rd Araw ng Katindingan or Day of Valor, a national observance that honors the heroism of Filipino and American soldiers during World War II, particularly during the fall of Bataan and the resistance in Corregidor. The proclamation, issued through Proclamation number 727, also invites Filipinos to participate in the 2025 Philippine Veterans Week, which runs from April 5 to 11. This celebration is led by the Department of National Defense and the Philippine Veterans Affairs Office in partnership with other agencies. This year's theme is Kabayanihan ng Veterano, Sandigan ng Kaunlaran ng Bangko Pilipinas, or Veterans Heroism, Foundation of a Progressive New Philippines. And the Supreme Court on Tuesday ordered Senate candidate Raul Lambino to explain why he should not face administrative action for spreading false information on the temporary restraining order against the arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte. According to the Supreme Court Information Office, the NBAC issued a show cause order against Lambino on April 2 after he falsely claimed that the highest court had issued a TRO against the arrest of Duterte. This misinformation caused public confusion and misled the people about the Supreme Court's actions, the Supreme Court said in the press conference. The false information on the TRO spread during the day of Duterte's arrest. After a petition to issue a TRO against the apprehension was filed, the Duterte camp, specifically Lambino, posted by the evening of the same day that a TRO had already been issued by the Supreme Court. This, however, turned out to be untrue, with the Supreme Court later denying the petition for an immediate issuance of a TRO. When he asked for a comment, Labino in a text message to the reporters denied having the intention to misinform the public. There was no intention on my part to spread fake news, disinformation, or misinformation, Labino said. The senatorial candidate endorsed by Duterte then said he has yet to receive the show cause order from the Supreme Court but gave assurance that he will respond accordingly in due time. This is koolNews Primetime. It is now 10:40 p.m. as we will return with more news headlines that care for you right here on koolNews Primetime. Stay along with us. We will return after the break.
This koolNews edition was brought to you by Musicultura Heritage Foundation Center, a museum of all fan-made multimedia and Philippine history. Visit us today at Greenbelt, Makati City from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Musicultura, a non-profit joint venture project of Able Media and TVH Group of Networks Incorporated. Dunkin', Pasalubong ng Bayan. Pilsen Healthy Home, odorless antibacterial paint. Star Wax Floor Wax with waterproof formula. Long-lasting shine. Star Wax Floor Wax. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified world-class quality. ACS. CFB. Express the freedom of banking. Open your account today at CFB. A member of Crosslink and supervised by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Ginuman San Rafael. Ganadong mabuhay. And Fuji Denso Home and Commercial Appliances, where you get reliable, durable, and energy-saving products. Upgrade your usual appliances of Fuji Denso HV inverter appliances. Fuji Denso, quality above all.
Cool FM.
Tight game. Shoots and it's
Nabitin? Magtusiran Forte. With Total Cough Relief Formula. Laban sa dry non-stop ubo. Kati sa lalamunan due to post-nasal drip at sakit sa kakaubo. Tusiran Forte. Unilab yan.
Dextromethorphan, HBr plus phenylpropanolamine HCl plus paracetamol is the generic name of Tusiran Forte. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Celebrate the lives of your fallen family heroes with the newly opened chapels of Tahanan ng Alaala in Himlayang Pilipino. We offer premium memorial service by providing 24-hour personalized customer care with flexible funeral and chapel accommodation packages. At Himlayang Pilipino, we give honor to the heroes of your lives. For inquiries, you may contact us at 0968-896-4850 or visit us at www.himlayangpilipino.org and follow us on Facebook, Himlayang Pilipino Incorporated, and on Instagram, HPI Memorial Park.
Himlayang Pilipino.
You're running late for the prom when something goes wrong.
Nakapanit ako og sapatos ng matangtang ang swelo sa akong sapatos.
Hello? It's late. Where are you?
Crunch time, what you gonna do?
Keep cool with new Nestle Crunch Cookies and Cream. Vanilla ice cream with cookie bits coated in white chocolate and crisp cereal. I got this. Saw my cool blue chucks to rock my white socks. K-O-K to the prom, I'm on my way. New Nestle Crunch Cookies and Cream ice cream. Keep cool with Crunch.
Ka-winner, alam niyo ba ng MX3 Coffee Mix with Pandan tested and proven na? Dahil ito lang ang kape na mayaman sa vitamin C at calcium with antioxidant pa. May seal of product quality dahil sa mataas na kalidad nito. All natural ito dahil gawa ito sa balat ng prutas ng mangosteen. At pwede rin ito sa may mga diabetes at may high blood pressure dahil mababa ang caffeine content nito. At taglay din ito ang masustansyang alpha, beta at gamma nutrients na sigurado makakatulong sa pagpapalakas ng resistensya at para sa magandang tulog. For any inquiries, visit our website www.mx3.ph or call our hotline 0918-888-8693. MX3, mag-MX3 araw-araw para M Extraordinary.
Hindi lang sa Quinto Distrito ang aton pagserbisyo, dalunta sa bilog na probinsya ang mga handom kag programa para sa kaayuhan sa ang pumuluyo. Ini si former Vice Governor Buboy Tupas, Bibo sa Serbisyo, Asenso, Iloilo.
This political ad is paid by O2 Vidal Barotaviejo.
Kahit mawis blooming bango sa Surf Fabcon.
New Surf Fabcon Fresh and Bloom. May 3 times amoy pawis shield. Kaya
kahit mawis blooming bango sa Surf Fabcon.
based on lab tests Persist detergent powder only. Surf!
Barbie Forteza po. And I believe ang taong sa pera ay wais, ang skin pwede pa rin kuminis. And I thank you, Silka Papaya Lotion. Dahil 750 pesos SRP lang, giving na ang papaya enzymes niya. Affordable skincare, di ba? Kaya kung bet mo ay kutis na lit, sa Silka Papaya Lotion kumapit. With regular use, slay it with the skin na giving. Stay lit with Silka. With regular use for only 750 pesos SRP.
Magdobling ingat dahil advance na ang mga scammers ngayon. Kaya nilang gumawa ng IMSI catcher na parang fake cell towers para kumonek sa phone mo. Gamit to, nagsisend sila ng text na may link na kunwari galing sa mga legitimate institutions tulad ng GCash. Pag makatanggap ng message with a link, SMS spoofing scam yan. Tandaan, GCash will never send links. Kahit GCash ang nag-text ng link, huwag mong i-click. Galing ang SMS sa scammers na gumagamit ng illegal cell site para ma-hijack ang SMS. GCash is supervised by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Kahit GCash ang nag-text ng link, huwag mong i-click. SMS spoofing scam yan. Galing ang SMS sa scammers na gumagamit ng illegal cell site para ma-hijack ang SMS. Tandaan, GCash will never send links.
8 hanggang dulo, patungo sa bagong bukas. Blooms Partist. Ang partist ng bawat Blooms. Number 8 sa balota.
Political or fictional advertisement paid for and by Bloom's Party List. 88 Pantropical Avenue, Diliman, Quezon City.
Bakit kahit quality, abot kaya pa rin ang Right Med? Dahil gusto ng Right Med na kayo'y makibahagi ng gusto sa buhay. Coco Martin po at kasama ako ng Right Med.
Gusto namin na gumaling kayo.
If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Mamadaming time sa lahat ng gusto nyo. Mamadaming time, Champion Detergent ang gamit ko. Champion na!
Sa Champion Quick Wash Technology, less time sa lavada, more time sa pamilya.
Welcome back. The Philippine Navy's first of two guided missile convicted to be named BRP Miko Malvar FFG-06 arrived in the country from South Korea on Tuesday, according to the Department of National Defense. The DND said Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. led the arrival ceremony at the Naval Operating Base in Subic, Zambales. In a statement on Tuesday, Teodoro said the arrival of the convicted is a critical step toward developing a self-reliant and credible defense posture. Miguel Malvar is here today not only to serve as a deterrent and protector of our waters, but also as an important component in joint and combined operations as we work alongside allies and uphold the norms of international law, Teodoro said. One of the hallmarks of an investment horizon for this country is the blue economy. How can you develop a blue economy if you do not have a strong navy? You need a strong navy as an anchor, as a backbone, as a spine of a blue economy. So this is our offering to those that went before us, to the heroes who went before us, who we will honor tomorrow, he added. The Converte, named after a Philippine Revolutionary General and hero, was manufactured by Hyundai Heavy Industries of South Korea. The brand new 3,100-ton Convectes, which have anti-ship, anti-submarine, and anti-aircraft capabilities or capacities, capability, are part of a 28 billion peso deal the country signed with Hyundai in 2021. Hyundai also built the Navy's smaller ships, frigates, BRP Jose Rizal, and BRP Antonio Luna. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board has given over 1,000 special permits to public utility buses for the Holy Week. As of last night, there are 1,018 buses with the special permit, LTFRB spokesperson Ariel told reporters on Tuesday. These are the buses originating from Metro Manila with different points of destination in the province, he added. The period for accepting applications for special permits ran from February 24 to March 7. The LTFRB previously announced that the special permits will be valid from April 13 to April 26. The board explained that the issuance of special permits allows more public utility vehicles to accompany a surge of passengers outside the designated routes. Former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque has cast doubt on the credibility of the vlogger who claimed that he was the source of the Palvaron video which showed a man allegedly sniffing an illegal drug. In the live stream on Tuesday, which was posted on his social media pages, Roque and vlogger Maharika questioned the motives of vlogger Vicente Cunanan, known as Pebbles, for claiming that he was behind the video accusing President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. of drug use. Cunanan earlier told the House of Representatives Strike Committee that the video was edited to make it seem like Marcos was doing drugs, adding that Roque was the source of the clip. His character is truly questionable, from being a fierce critic of Marcos to now being a bootlegger. Why? How much was it? What's the reason? Tell us. Why? Roque, who is currently in the Netherlands to seek political asylum, said in Filipino. Sorry, Pebbles, but I really share the view of Maharika that we are not mad at you, but if ever we pitied you because we understand that we are not like you, who rely only on online selling for a living, we have some savings because we happen to get by with our work, he added. Roque also disputed Cunanan's sworn affidavit wherein the former Malacanang official supposedly said that he was good at overthrowing governments. According to Roque, what would bring down the government is the growing anger of people who are allegedly tired of the Marcos administration's mismanagement. Now, is the video enough to overthrow the government? No, because what would overthrow the government is a combined opinion from the masses that they no longer deserve to stay in power. Not Harry Roque. Don't give me too much credit, as if I am too good, he said in Filipino. Cunanan was referring to a video accusing Marcos of using illegal drugs, which spread on social media in July 2024, just before he delivered his third State of the Nation address. However, cybercrime experts from the Philippine National Police and the National Bureau of Investigation said the video did not feature Marcos. In a sworn statement submitted to the House, Cunanan said that she was invited to a private dinner along with other vloggers supporting former President Rodrigo Duterte. During the dinner, Roque allegedly told the vloggers that a politician's relative had given him a video showing Marcos supposedly using cocaine. So do you think, Pebbles, that there was an intentional altercation of the video to manipulate the image of that one in the video? This means it appears that the sharing of this video to disturb EPPM's reputation was planned, correct? Anti-Polo Secretary Representative Romero Acob asked Cunanan. He said, yes, Mr. Chair. And according to you, it was Harry Roque behind this? Acob asked again, yes, Mr. Chair. The Tri-Committee has been tasked to prompt the spread of disinformation online after several resolutions were fought and privileged speeches about the matter were delivered. Surigao del Norte, 2nd District, Representative Robert A. Sparbers was one of the lawmakers who delivered a privileged speech following rumors about him and the other chairpersons of the House Quad Committee. During that time, the Quad Committee was propping illegal activities in Philippine trade and extrajudicial killings under the Duterte administration's drug war. In May 2024, lawmakers urged the public to exercise discretion amid the spread of videos where Marcos' voice was mimicked to announce that the Philippines was getting ready for war against China. The Presidential Communications Office has disowned the video, saying that the video was made to sound like a president and that Marcos has not made such an order to the armed forces of the Philippines. And a coalition of teachers on Tuesday called on relevant government agencies to strengthen the enforcement of policies against bullying in schools, especially after several cases of severe bullying across Metro Manila. The Teachers' Dignity Coalition made the pronouncement amid a Senate panel hearing investigating the rising cases of bullying in the Philippines. According to the coalition, the hearing is crucial as an immediate response in understanding the root causes of school bullying. It also allows authorities to gather insights from key stakeholders, especially after recent incidents of bullying in Metro Manila schools. The most recent cases were in Bangko Silangan High School in Quezon City and Muwok National High School in Paranaque City. These cases reflect the urgent need to strengthen our collective efforts to protect children and ensure their safety in schools, the DDC said in a statement. While several policies are already in place, such as the DepEd Child Protection Policy, the Anti-Child Abuse Law, the Anti-Bullying Law, and the Cybercrime Prevention Act, these recent cases highlight the gap in enforcement and the importance of shared responsibility among all sectors of society. It added. The incident in the Paranaque High School resulted in the fatal stabbing of a 14-year-old female student perpetrated by a 15-year-old male classmate. Meanwhile, a viral video from Bangkong Silangan High School showed 3 female students taking turns pulling a student's hair. According to the TDC, the DepEd and other relevant agencies must now also prioritize the implementation of Republic Act No. 12080, or the Basic Education Mental Health and Wellbeing Promotion Act, which provides for a stronger and more accessible guidance and counseling service in our public schools. It then also called on parents to ensure that their children are taught discipline and value formation, emphasizing that preventing bullying requires a collective approach involving families, schools, communities, the media, and government institutions. Let's get into the international headlines, and this time it's focused on Japanese actor. Japanese police on Tuesday arrested Japanese actor Aryoko Hirosu for allegedly assaulting and injuring a nurse at the hospital in the city of Shimada in Shizuoka Prefecture, central Japan. The 44-year-old resident of Tokyo was arrested by the Shizuoka Prefectural Police after she allegedly kicked the 37-year-old nurse multiple times and stretched her arm at the hospital at around 12:30 a.m. on Tuesday. According to the police, Hirosu was driving a vehicle when she crashed into a heavy-duty truck on the Tomei Expressway at around 6:50 p.m. on Monday. She suffered minor injuries and was taken to a hospital as a precautionary measure. Hirosu's agency said in a statement that she caused a traffic accident in the vehicle she was driving. After she was taken to hospital, she panicked temporarily and injured a medical worker, the agency said. We deeply apologize for the great inconvenience and concern caused to the injured person and all other concerned parties, the agency said, adding that Hirosu will go on hiatus for the time being. And 2 men who sexually assaulted an intoxicated 60-year-old girl in a toilet at Admiralty Park in 2022 were sentenced on April 7 after they each pleaded guilty to a charge of rape. Muhammad Isnali David, age 22, the main perpetrator, was handed 12 and a half years of jail and 12 strokes of the cane. He had dragged the victim into the woman's toilet, taken her into a cubbyhole, and assaulted her. 3 other charges, 1 for rape, 1 for sexual assault involving penetration, and 1 for criminal trespass, were considered in sentencing. Muhammad Al-Amin Salamat, age 23, who joined in after seeing Isnali assault the victim, was given 10 and a half years of jail and 12 strokes of the cane. 2 other charges, 1 for sexual assault involving penetration and 1 for criminal trespass, were considered in sentencing. And a third man, Raden Hosni Zolkifri, age 27, has also been accused of joining in the sexual assault but is claiming trial. Raden faces 1 charge of sexual assault by penetration and 1 charge of criminal trespass. In sentencing arguments on the harm caused to the victim, the prosecution told the High Court that her grandmother and brother blamed her for the incident and her relationship with them had deteriorated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 1 minute before 11:30 p.m. and that is all for koolNews Primetime this evening. We will return with more news headlines tomorrow with the rest of the available koolNews editions. You can also send us your comments, suggestions, and feedback through our email at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. Until next time, I am Cairo and this has been koolNews Primetime, and coming up next is the Family Theater radio drama. The family that prays together stays together on Kool FM. This is your station. This is home. Good night.
FM, DZ